welcome back to the channel. Coming up in this episode, highlights from around the verse with Chris Roberts and Sandy Gardner, including highlights from the Foundry 42 UK studio update with Nick Helms, plus changes in the 3.0 production scheduled report and a new piece of subscriber flair in your hangar. First, let's look at some of the highlights from the Foundry 42 UK studio update with Nick Helms. Now, Aaron Roberts is on holiday, so Nick Helms stood in to bring us the studio update. Now, they're continuing to work on Squadron 42 and of course work for the upcoming 3.0, and some of this work includes the new automated air traffic control system, where you'll be able to communicate from your ship and start a conversation with the NPCs so you can land. Nick showed us the new hint system, which is aimed at making things easier for new players joining the game. Now we got a look at the new mission manager, which will help us all manage the missions we're doing in 3.0, and obviously it's projected on your Moby glass. Now here's something I do have a lot of knowledge about, and that's walking, and here we're seeing a before and after of the NPC walking animations. Now before they were a little bit too robotic, but now they're refining them to be, well, more realistic, and here we've got the actual NPC doing a little bit of a jog around the ship. Also refined the lighting models for the surface of the planet. A quick look at the new Gemini ballistic pistol, and also on the revamp of the Arrowhead sniper rifle. A while ago we saw Steve Bender demonstrate these on Sean Tracy, some hand-to-hand takedowns. Now that's gotta hurt. Also some work on the NPC's patrol, idle and reaction tests for, well, their reactions. The Derby team are working on the finalised versions for the animations for Miles Eckhart and other mission givers in 3.0, and also attended a shoot in London with some well-known actors for the PU mission givers. Now Nick showed us some new VFX work they're doing on electrical effects, and also some ongoing work into particles as well. Now they're also been working on the VFX work for the Levski landing zone, and we can see some nice flames coming out of these mining facilities. Also some VFX work is ongoing on the Cutlass, and some atmospheric flight trails are being worked on. The look of space is undergoing a major facelift for 3.0, and the Stanton system will be full of space dust. Also on the theme of enhanced space effects, they're continuing to work on Nebula, and also they're working on something called the Coil, which features in Squadron 42. Looks like a vast type of cloud nebula based anomaly. Now we got another look at the new truck stop space stations. Now they're working on wear and tear effects for the outside of these stations, and they're also paying a close attention to the solar panels, getting the feel and look of these panels the way they want them. And Nick told us they're putting a lot of effort into the design of these space stations, trying to make the look of them not too repetitive, and also making a lot of effort on the landing pads. We got a quick look at an emergency shelter for if you get stranded on a moon, and also a secret drugs lab. Also doing some work on, well, we call it weathering effects for outposts, so they look weathered. And they're working on actual branding for the outpost, so if one company owns a particular outpost, their name will appear on the outside. Work is ongoing on the reclaimer, and they've actually been working on the drone room, and they're particularly excited for this for well, in the future when you can deploy drones. They've also actually finished the engine room, and they've made use of assets from the Idris. Now they've also been working on the damage states for the reclaimer, so if you're unlucky enough to get the reclaimer blown apart, you'll find out. Also, they've been working on the derelict ships, which we can see here, and obviously these will form some things to discover in 3.0, and maybe some missions as well. Now this is pretty interesting. They've actually been reworking the cockpit of the Gladius. They've given several reasons for this, something to do with the obviously the item system 2.0, choosing all the different functions in the cockpit. All departments have had their hand in this. Also the graphics team have put in something so you can now see your gun, the main weapon, firing from the nose. Yeah, very interesting to see a change in the design of a cockpit. Maybe it's to do with the way the 2.0 systems work. Maybe we'll see this changes in other ships. But with anything in Star Citizen, things will change, and probably will change again in the future. Our work is continuing on the Hull C, and here we can see the landing gear and some inside shots of the ship. Now they've been working also on the lighting systems for the Hull C, and as we can see here, we've got some nice lighting, and once this is complete, they're going on to the tunnel section of the Hull C and the engine room. Been working on changes to the Dying Star map in Arena Commander, changing the look of it quite considerably with procedurally generated asteroids. Also changing the layout of the maps in Star Marine. Hopefully we'll see some additional game modes as well in the future. We got to look at the Mobiglass displaying the status system, so you can see all the information on your suit, and obviously in your environment. Also you can look at your equipment and loadout on the Mobiglass as well. Now the audio team have been working on some environmental audio effects for the surface of the moons and planets. Also on the subject of audio, they've actually been making changes to the sounds of some of the weapons on the ships. Now we also got a look at the new kiosks, and in particular the sound of them in action. Very retro, the sound. Now, as always, that was a very comprehensive update from Foundry 42 in the UK, and I especially like the look of those derelict ships. Now, if you're an RSI subscriber, this month's subscriber flare is part of the holographic display series. Now, it's a old space station called the IMS Bolivar, and although it's disused now, evidently it's currently occupied by squatters. Now, as expected, there has been a change to the timeline for the 3.0 release. In the production scheduled report, it now points to the 21st of July for a general release. But of course, that may well change, and these dates are only estimates. Now, the reason they've changed is that they've added some what they think is going to be some essential new features. Now, I guess that they anticipate quite a few new players coming into the game to take a look at 3.0. So now they're actually working on a new hint system which will help new players. Now, among some of the other new features they've decided to add for 3.0 are some new comms UI, some new asteroid physics systems, and something called exposure improvements. Well, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Please don't forget to like, and it will help the channel a lot if you'd like to subscribe. So until next time, wherever you're watching out in that big universe, you take care, and hopefully I'll see you all sometime soon. Bye for now.